Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie. This is Norman, and we're closing out the first round of the 2020 Yaga tournament.
I never thought we'd make it.
Neither did my liver.
Welcome to day 8. Today's matchup, number 12 overall, Old Forester Rye versus number 21 overall, E.H. Taylor Small Batch Bottled in Bond. These are a couple of 100 proof whiskeys, one rye, one bourbon.
It's gonna be hard for you.
Old Forester Rye is my daily drinker, my $21 baby.
And it won number 1 for me on the Rye Challenge.
Yeah, you love this one too.
Yeah.
And the Taylor, what do you say about it? It's Buffalo Trace. It can be hard to find, but it's always worth the hunt.
Norman wasn't concerned about the previous couple days matchups. I don't think he made an appearance, but he did not want to miss this one.
I think he sensed the tension. Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers. I always want to immediately take a drink, but I know that's improper.
With these two, you wouldn't be wrong to do it. That smells like cherries and oak and vanilla and beauty. Maybe some banana.
I like the smell of number 2.
And number 2 smells
like
all those things, but somehow sweeter and richer.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't get much on the nose on glass 1, and then I swapped over, and then I came back, and now it's coming through. I think a little bit of that oxygenation.
Oxygenation.
I don't know why I try to say that word. It's just too.
It's got O2 bubbles in it.
It's got O2.
I know what it is by the smell, but here we go.
See, it's your punishment for drinking these a lot. You know what you're getting yourself into.
This is what you get for having whiskey regularly. I gotta roll up my sleeves because I feel like I'm gonna do some work.
Ooh, a little spicier.
Yeah.
Fruity.
This one's interesting too because the Old Forester Rye is barely rye. It is a low rye mash bill as far as ryes go, and it has more barley in the mash bill, or at least a higher percentage of it than most ryes do. It's very bourbon-like, it's very sweet, it's very rich and viscous, it coats the tongue. I'm talking it up a lot, but I really do like it.
Interesting. I said that and then I didn't say anything after that.
I was waiting with bated breath. I didn't want to take a sip in case I was stepping on a moment.
My wheels were turning because from the smell, from the nose of this one, I think I was expecting something different out of the taste. It almost fell a little lackluster to me. It's always good to have low expectation. Despite
the fact that they couldn't be more different on paper, this is a really interesting matchup. The flavor profiles, even though they're from completely different distillers, totally different mash bills, they both seem to have some of the same elements of flavor and aroma. I think in order for these to not step on each other, we'll have to spend some time with one glass and then spend some time with the other glass. I'm gonna spend some time with glass number 2 now. Date number 2.
So glass number 1 for me has a little bit of a short finish. It kind of hits you almost like in the front part of your tongue, front to middle part, but it doesn't go any further than that. But it's a pretty short finish overall.
I wonder too if that heat that you're getting, because of where you're getting it on your tongue, is that sort of rye spice dance that you sometimes get from a nice rye whiskey, where it sort of get that tingling on your tongue.
It does. It feels a little bit like Pop Rocks or something. Like it's like tingly, like boop boop boop.
The first time that I tried the Old Forester Rye was the first time that I really noticed that in a rye, that sort of dance on the tongue.
I obviously liked it because if you look at my glasses right now, there's like nothing left in there.
Glass 2, I'm starting to notice some more things on. Light brown sugar, not like super dark brown sugar, but that light brown sugar. It's coating nicely, and if you look at your glass, the legs for this one are really showing up, which is giving the glass itself a better nose. The more we drink this down, the more you're getting on the nose with this one as well. I didn't notice that at all with glass A. Glass B, starting to get more oak, nice sugar. There's complexities there.
I know the rye is a cheap date at $21 or $25 or depending where you live.
It's cheaper.
$19.99 or something.
If it's on sale. Gotten it cheap.
What does the Colonel Taylor usually run?
That one costs about $45, although it's allocated, it can be hard to find. I have seen this one priced up to $100, which is insane. Don't spend $100 on this bottle.
Oh, I got a little bit of cinnamon finally on this one. Even though it was so strong and so superior on the nose for me, the actual flavor profile, it took me a while to kind of get to being able to break down some of the flavors.
I actually think that that's a product of Glass 1 being so flavorful on the nose, on the tongue, right off the bat. Glass 1 to me is, and I'm gonna take a guess here, Glass 1 is the rye. It jumps all over your tongue, it can overwhelm your palate. That's why I wanted to spend a little extra time with Glass 2. Glass 2 has opened up for me. In terms of the flavors that I'm getting in Glass 2 now, not just light brown sugar, but there's also some white sugar there as well. Maybe a confectioner sugar note. It's just so sweet and flavorful, and the more it opens up, the more I like it. I think I'm ready to make a decision. It's gonna break my heart, but I'm ready. I just returned to Glass 1 for a hot second, and it's Cherry Jolly Ranchers now. It's a candy sweetness. It's a little,
So
this is more like a candy that you pull out of a wrapper.
I'm out? Oh, I have a little sip there. I don't know.
Are you gonna steal my Glass 2?
Maybe.
Now that's all I can taste is Cherry Jolly Ranchers on this one.
Totally crazy. Okay.
Yeah, which makes it an easier decision for me altogether. You were deep in thought there.
Well, they're good.
Yes.
You've literally known which one you're going to choose for like 10 minutes now. And when this video airs, it'll be like 4 seconds, but I'm just letting you know, it's been like 10 minutes that I've been indecisive. I'm ready.
Yeah. Ladies first, what are we going with? I thought you were ready.
I am ready.
What are you going with?
But I feel bad. I'm going with glass number 1.
Wow.
Yep. Looking at the bottle, I know that I'm supposed to choose this one. Totally. I totally get it. I mean, the label, the height of it overshadows this little squatty bottle. I don't know.
I mean, even the name. I mean, he's the father of bottled and bond. Historically important name and bourbon.
Yeah, I just, for some reason, I mean, it's a really pretty label. For some reason, the flavors never came through for me on this.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
We split once again.
Let's
just double check. I'll say we
Yeah.
haven't actually made sure of which one is which.
No, and I will say if this is glass number 2, I wasn't disappointed in it. I just probably would never grab it. Like it would never be something I grabbed off the shelf.
And for me, when I see the Taylor name,
You love it.
I'm all in.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here.
Yep.
Glass number 1 that you chose, I've got A.
I have A as well. Let me
All
mess that up.
So
That's
you
good.
have chosen Old Forester Rye. I have chosen Glass B, Taylor Bottled and Bond, of which I have none left to enjoy.
No, I drink it all.
Your love affair with Old Forester seems to be back on track. And
Yeah, we're like 3 for 4 now, or?
I'm pretty sure this is the 3rd or maybe 4th Buffalo Trace bottle that you have eliminated from this tournament. You have a real thing for Old Forester. These are both going back on the shelf for one of us, and we have just one more matchup left in round 1. We're gonna get to it right after this.
And we're back. I'm still thinking about that first matchup. I'm feeling a little guilty, like people at home are like, who is that girl choosing a rye over Colonel Taylor? But I'm gonna chalk it up to my novice whiskey drinking, and
I mean, look, neither one of us are professionals. We've made that clear over and over again. We don't have expert palates. We know what we like. That's the point of this competition.
and I am trying to dig deep and say like, don't go just by like personal preference. But if it's a bracket that I'm running,
It's your personal preference, 100%. 100%.
I don't want like a Dickel to be my number 1.
Oof, cold-blooded. The last matchup of round 1, our second matchup of day 8. This is number 5 overall versus number 28 overall. This is our wood finish seed for bracket number 4. Doesn't get a second barrel or anything like that, but they chisel out grooves in the barrels, which creates more interaction between the bourbon and the barrels. And Woodinville is the closest thing that we've got to a hometown favorite in this competition. There are a couple distilleries locally here in Central Oregon. We didn't include them because you can't really buy them elsewhere to our knowledge. So Woodinville, made in Washington State outside of Seattle, 90 proofer.
And I gotta say, the medicinal bottle, very Old Westy feeling to me.
It's a really cool bottle. It's cool packaging. I dig the name, I dig the bottle. I dig the fact that it's relatively local. Then again, We've got 100 proof brown forman product. So during the wood finish challenge, you had some of this. So that was really the only time. This one, we had just a splash of each around a campfire not too long ago. So this is really about as blind as a tasting could be for both of us.
Definitely. Let's get started.
Here we go. Ooh. Did you go right to the sip?
I did.
All right, right off the bat, this has got...
Oh, but I already tasted it.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Oh, okay, good. Glass one, the nose reminds me of High West Double Rye.
Don't say that.
There's something weird going on. But whereas I find it completely off-putting on the High West product, here it's more welcome. I'm not offended by it. It's almost like a sarsaparilla note on the nose, whereas the other one is more floral, more grassy.
I'm gonna continue with my Old West analogies, but it does have something like railroady about it. Is that like a really weird thing to say? Like,
it's hard to nail down what that is on the nose. So I've been enjoying the nose on glass one over and over and over here. Because it's so unique, I'm gonna go to glass B. Let's see what we find here.
I'm still on glass one, and now I'm getting a little bit of like, I wouldn't even say lemon zest.
There's effervescence.
Yeah, just a little bit like
Right?
zesty about it.
That's lively.
Okay, anyway.
That's nice. Yeah, glass one, really nice on the nose. Let's check out glass two.
Definitely a higher profile nose on this one.
Like proof-wise, you mean?
Just like more flavorful for me. Like I'm actually like getting more from this nose.
I'm getting
Some vanilla maybe?
I'd say, yeah, there's a deep vanilla, like a rich vanilla
Yeah.
tone, like dark vanilla, like a freshly opened vanilla bean, as well as this really oak forward. It's a leathery, maybe even like a tobacco leaf note, a cigar wrapper or something like that. Glass one is bright, unexpected, lively nose, and glass two, the nose, really deep, rich tones. These are super different glasses.
So I really don't recall having this glass number one before, but I really like it. I will say, of all the choices I've made so far in these 8 days, this could be the upset one where I don't go for sweetness over everything else. Glass number one is not as sweet. I'm definitely gonna have to visit number two again since I haven't even really given that a shot.
I don't even think I've tasted glass two yet.
It feels like there's a lot of,
Is it sliding into the DMs on your palate?
it's just filling in the cracks.
Oh God.
There's nothing overwhelming about this one. There's no crazy citrus or crazy cherries or crazy oak. It's just kind of a mellow, balanced.
This is a sipping whiskey. Whatever this is,
It's just nice.
it's a sipping whiskey.
It's
I could
nice.
just sit with this. Man, we should put up a tire swing and just sit in it with this glass right here.
Yeah.
I could do that. That'd be all right with me.
Yeah.
I will say this, I've taken one sip of glass two compared to many sips of glass one.
I know I shouldn't like be all end all this one because I have not done two yet.
And just from the one sip that I had of glass two, glass one has a lot to prove because glass two is really good.
He's always trying to sway me to the dark side.
Well, in this case, you would be swayed to the darkest flavor side. This is so rich and so flavorful to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like deep, like a dark red. What is that cherry that you would put in a drink?
Like a Lizardo?
Like a Lizardo cherry. Like
It's just surprising to me that the nose on Glass B is so dark and rich. The leather, the oak, the hearty, dark aroma notes. You would think that the glass would be nearly bitter when you actually get to the palate on it. On the palate, this is refreshing. It's light. There's vanilla. There's a little cinnamon. And the oak that's there is remarkably light and smooth. For me, glass two, right off the bat, is showing off. Whereas glass one, as much as I've been enjoying it, it's not putting itself in the same class as glass two at this point for me.
glass number two is a little bit warmer. Neither one of them
Neither
are
one of these
long-lasting.
is long
Like
enough. They
glass
both
one
sort of
has
flame
a
out quick.
super short finish.
Yeah, glass
Super
one,
short.
as soon as you swallow it, it's gone.
Yeah, just because I've been such a cheap date the last couple days. What are the price points on this? Do you remember?
Cooper's Craft. This is the chiseled and charred. There is another Cooper's Craft out there, which I haven't even seen in Oregon. $29. The Woodinville is a $40 bottle.
Okay, so a $10 difference.
I've enjoyed Cooper's over and over again since we opened it, and it's gotten better and better the lower we got in the bottle. I have no doubt that Glass 2 is Cooper's at this point.
So I'm having a little bit of a crisis situation here because I'm trying to. No.
You've worked them down quite a bit.
I have worked them down, but I know the bracket is subjective, and I am trying to be true to the heart of what this is going to be, but I'm really struggling with this. My personal preference is going like, what is a nice, lovely taster, right? Versus
Satisfaction matters.
satisfaction, right, correct.
Ultimately, for me, this one's easy. I really enjoyed both of these. One of them is great in its own way. It's a very unique product that has a place on our shelf from now on. The other one is just such a delight and has been from day one for us. I'm going to stick with the one that I really, really like.
And I'm gonna be honest, I'm ready,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go with glass number 1.
Glass number 1 for you. Glass number 2 gets the nod for me.
Yeah, not
Let's see what
surprising.
they are. I've got glass number 2 for me is letter A.
And I have B, so that's good we did that right.
So I'm choosing A, you're choosing B. A is Cooper's Craft, B is Woodinville. Not a huge surprise to either one of us there about what they were. Surprising about the results, because I kind of thought before we started that I would wind up choosing Woodinville and that you were going to choose Cooper's. And
because this is actually the sweeter one, which goes against everything that I've said in the previous 7 days. It was just something different for me, and
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
This Cooper's Craft, when we compared it to a bunch of other sweet things, we didn't get much flavor at all. Today, tons of flavor on it. One more remark on the Woodinville is that I was hesitant to buy this bottle because of the price and sort of the low proof point. They also have a rye. I'm gonna bring that rye home as soon as we get to the store and I see it. We will keep this on the shelf, we'll find that rye because I'm a fan of Woodinville now. Even though I didn't pick it, I'm a fan.
And I'm not always a cheap date. I'm sometimes a medium cheap
How
date.
about that? You may not be a cheap date, but you chose our relatively hometown nod here. So these both go up on the shelf. We'll see them in the second round, and we're going to do some rearranging here because things are a little out of order after the first round, and we will proceed with just one matchup a day from now on, which
It's a little bit of a relief.
yeah, thank goodness. With
And we
that in mind,
Made it through the first round.
made it through the first
I
round. Didn't
feel
pick
like
any of
our
the same stuff.
brackets from the people that submitted a little bit tossed sideways.
Some people are real close.
But yeah,
It's
true.
going to be interesting.
This is why you had a bracket and I had a bracket. We'll see you tomorrow. So from wherever we are,
To wherever you are.
cheers.